going on, everybody? Welcome to the 5th official episode of the SuperThwak podcast. We're your hosts, Damian Leba,
Anthony Stevens,
Nathan Larry Holmes,
and I'm Justus.
Alright, well, we're all filming in a different location today. We're using my garage instead of Damian's house because everybody over at his place has the coronavirus.
Yeah!
So, what are we starting with? Just real quick, we're all going to run through our Super Bowl predictions. So, we'll start with Nate.
I got my money on Chiefs.
Chiefs?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I used to live in Kansas City and I like the Chiefs.
I mean, at least you got
the
loyalty.
49ers. And if the 49ers win, that makes it a little bit harder for the Broncos to catch up Super Bowl ring-wise.
We'll see. I'm hoping.
I'm gonna agree with Nate. I definitely want Kansas to take this one home.
You got a reason?
Not a huge reason. Probably just because I'm a huge fan of strange music, so I might as well go that route.
At least you got some sort of reason for connection.
Yeah. That's the only connection I have.
I'm gonna go KC as well. Just because of AFC loyalty, and Patrick Mahomes is a beast.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I haven't really kept up with the 49ers very much. Too. The only thing I know about them is they have, what is his name, Greg, or is it Greg or George Kittle?
George Kittle.
Yeah. Yeah. So other than that, I don't really know how 49ers have really done this year. So.
I'm going to pick the 49ers because...
We got one different.
Yeah. Overall, 49ers are a better team. They got a better defense, especially the defensive line with Nick Bosa, Buckner, D Ford, and the D-line is more superior. The running game is more superior because the Chiefs don't have a running game at all. They do not. So, but I will say if it comes to a shootout between Jimmy G and Patrick Mahomes is going to take it.
Okay.
But 49ers are going to run the ball the whole game. So it's going to be a high-scoring game either way, but I think the 49ers overall have a better team and they're going to win.
Okay. Yeah, no, definitely looking forward to it. Because we're filming about roughly 24 hours before the Super Bowl starts. Probably won't drop until after the Super Bowl because we got all of our family events we have to go to before we can really get into editing.
So you guys can laugh at how wrong we are.
Yeah, right.
Or how right I am.
And then, so since we're already on the topic of football, though, I believe next week, I got to get the exact date, but the XFL will be starting.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that Vince McMahon's hurting for money right now because WWE just lost $1 billion in stock after they fired their 2 presidents. So I'm sure that Vince McMahon is going to be putting all of his eggs in this basket to try to make some moolah.
So in their playoffs, do they play for like a title belt?
I would not be surprised, honestly. I really hope it's not as cartoony as it was in the early 2000s when they had people like they had that one guy who had his name on the back of the jersey. It was He Hate Me or something like that.
Yeah, I think they're taking it more serious this far. Like I've been watching kind of videos leading up, and it seems like they're taking it more serious.
So it'll be interesting. They have a total of 10 teams. Not like super interesting names. You got like Renegades,
Dragons,
Defenders, Vipers, Battlehawks.
The Battlehawks.
Are they like from like certain areas?
Yeah, so Washington.
Okay.
You have Washington D.C. Defenders.
Okay. Gotcha.
Florida Vipers, I believe. I think Texas Roughnecks.
Okay.
So you got the Dallas Renegades, the DC Defenders, Houston Roughnecks, LA Wildcats, New York Guardians, St. Louis Battlehawks, Seattle Dragons, and the Tampa Bay Vipers.
Kind of reminds me of like the Blitz League.
Yes.
Yeah.
That game was legit.
All
I
it
did love
reminds
that
me
game.
of is create a football team on Madden NFL.
Pretty much.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because that's the only place you'll find the Dragons. Like that's a horrible name.
Yeah.
Well, Houston Roughnecks. Why didn't you just call them fucking Houston Rednecks? You know what I mean?
And honestly, dude, like it already feels like cartoonish names.
Yeah.
But I'm just hoping that they play it serious and they don't try to bring in WWE superstars for advertisements all the time and stuff like that. That's where it failed the first time. Like, is it interesting to see The Rock come on the field and promote something? Yeah,
Sure.
Like
how are you gonna?
Goldberg, I guess a linebacker duo.
Yeah.
But how are you gonna do that if literally tomorrow night the person who's basically hosting Super Bowl is Dwayne Johnson?
Yeah.
So he can't go from Super Bowl directly to the very following week.
He's bigger than the XFL now.
Oh, dude,
They would probably have to
he's
pay him
horrible.
so much money to even
Yeah.
consider something.
Well, he's like the highest paid actor of the last like 3 years,
Yep.
right?
I think.
Really?
I think
Him
if
and
you
Robert
go that
Downey
route-
Jr. are.
Yeah.
Well, he
They-
always-
they
yeah.
fight for it back and forth.
Yeah.
I think because he always has that in. I think even if he's too old to play now, but it'd be cool to see him get taken on like as a defensive coach or something like that. Because he has that route. That's in his line of business, and he has
Yeah.
a connection.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
And then WWE, they've always had a soft spot for bringing football players to become wrestlers. I see no reason why.
Well, you have Mojo Rawley used to play, or he used to play for it, or he used to be on the practice squad for the Patriots, and that's how they're able to get guys like Gronkowski to go do like small spots on their
Yeah.
stuff. So
That's interesting.
yeah.
But I think with XFL, they're probably gonna have a lot of pros play there, like NFL pros play there in their off seasons, kind of like how a lot of them go to Europe and to Asia to play during the off seasons.
Does the NFL allow that? Because I know the NBA does.
I know the NFL used to do it. I know.
Well, is that
I know, like,
the
10
plan
years ago,
for
it's like
the
it's not
league?
international
Is
games?
like their
It's
schedule,
like-
the off season
Yeah.
of the NFL.
They're
pretty much,
playing
it's
for
supposed to-
different leagues during the off season.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
supposed to
yeah,
just
no.
fill that time that like I have so many friends that are like, dude, I don't know what to do when football's not happening. Because you have the whole from February to September, the end of August, beginning of
Yeah,
September.
August
Right.
is when preseason
Where
starts.
it's just dead. We don't really have a whole lot. Like, I can't sit and watch baseball. It's like watching paint dry.
And it's unless you're really super into football and you watch the off-season programs like training camp and stuff like that.
Right,
You
Right,
can't
right.
really
Football.
do
Arena
it.
football ain't around anymore, is it?
No, that's been gone for a
No.
while. And if it has, they've done a horrible job.
Yeah.
So that's why I think
Right.
XFL is kind of a genius idea to put from the end of the Super Bowl to the start of the NFL season. That's like a smart place to.
And if it takes off, dude, they can do maybe bump it up to 16 teams. That way, there's a little bit more to go with.
Yeah.
Gotta see where we're gonna go this year, cause
You just gotta see how the games play out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
is it gonna be top quality? Or are they gonna be a little bit different?
and are you getting washed up NFL players, or are you getting guys straight out of college?
Yeah.
They're mainly focusing on like undrafted people.
See,
some
and that's
ex-NFL
what I would
players.
hope for, because like, if it's a whole new organization, I feel like there should be new athletes to be a part of this. You know. what I
But
mean?
you know, there's always gonna be a couple of older guys that would.
Sure. And that-
Kaepernick might be an option, or even
Right.
for a fucking Tebow, dude. Just
Bring
Tebow
back-
been trying to play football for years.
Bring back Brett Favre.
right. I mean, like that kind of stuff is understandable. I just hope it's not like, you know, maybe excuse my ignorance, but like a bunch of old washed up NFL players and some old fucking wrestlers and
Yeah.
some fucking celebrities or something like that.
Well,
Like, that's just trash to me.
I have an NFL related question for you guys.
Yes.
Where do you guys think Tom Brady's gonna end up? Because he's technically a free agent.
Chargers.
There's a lot of talk Chargers. There's talk Raiders, and
Tennessee.
I heard one dumb thing that someone was trying to bring him to the Broncos, but I will literally not watch a football game.
Yeah.
I don't see him
All year.
making that kind of move.
He's not going to the Broncos. He's not going to Las Vegas. More than likely, I see him going to the Chargers because they recently cut ties with Philip Rivers. The
Okay.
Chargers did. So I see him going there, or I see him going to Tennessee.
I
If
just-
they don't commit to Ryan Tannehill.
I just don't have faith in LA to
No.
not.
How
try
long
to
do you
something
think
like that.
Tom Brady has as far as his
A year.
longevity
A year or
goes?
two?
Maybe,
Really?
yeah. He dude already has six Super
Six
Bowls,
rings.
So
What-
he
nine
doesn't
times.
need
What,
to keep
is
going.
there a reason why he became a free agent now?
And it's just
Just the end of his contract.
and his
I'm
contract.
sure they probably
And
offered him
he's
a
old.
new contract.
I mean, he got drafted 2 years after Manning got drafted.
Okay.
Yeah, Manning's already been retired for
Well,
2 years.
and
Yeah.
dude,
And I
like,
guarantee you, he would have retired this year if he went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, I think Bill Belichick wants to prove that he can win without Tom Brady.
Okay.
You know, I think that he wants to prove that, and that's why he was kind of pissed off when he had to trade Jimmy G to the 49ers.
Okay.
Because that was his backup plan after Tom Brady left was Jimmy G, and now
Oh,
Jimmy
okay.
G's in the fucking Super Bowl.
Right.
So,
Okay.
yeah, so now they have to start over and see what they can pick up. But yeah, I think either LA or Tennessee, I can see Tom Brady going to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Broncos got a lot of work to do this year.
Yeah.
yes.
Knowing John Elway, he'll ruin Drew Lock's career. He'll go look for another quarterback.
Dude, I really hope we just sit and let this one go for a minute.
He
because-
did good so far.
Yeah,
Well,
like,
I remember-
we only gave him really, I think what, 4 games? So
Yeah,
we really haven't given him a chance. But
Which
that's
is a
the
good
thing that
idea.
scares me because every quarterback we've had since Manning, they get like a 2 or 3 game
Washed.
stretch and then
Well, they're not talented at all. Paxton Lynch is not talented.
Well, that's
you also
He could
didn't
never
really-
pick up the playbook.
I feel like that's a
Really never
Broncos
gave him a
tradition.
chance.
Because once Elway went up and then Brian Greasy came in, he went through the same bullshit. He suffered through. His career got cut short because people held that high expectation. Same thing happened to Plummer. Same thing happened to Cutler.
Cutler, yeah.
I will say that I hope that happens to whoever comes after Tom Brady in New England because I can't stand New England.
They'll still win. Bill Belichick is the greatest coach of all time. They'll
He is
still win.
fantastic.
That yeah.
That is the other reason I want KC to win. Andy Reid deserves the Super Bowl.
I do not want KC to win because they're in the AFC West with the Broncos and the Raiders. So no.
It makes it a little harder for us overall. But
I'm okay with it though.
But if we're counting rings, that's why I want the 49ers to lose. Like overall teams,
How
I
many
probably
rings
like
does
49ers.
49ers
I
have?
think they got 5 or
Five.
something.
They got 6. They got 5. This will be 6 if they win. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the Broncos.
What about
got-
KC?
One.
One.
Their very first Super Bowl when they were very first in the NFL.
They haven't been
it
to
was
Super
like
Bowl
in
in
the
50
70s.
years.
Yeah.
This is the
Oh,
first. This is the
man.
first time.
See,
in
that's what. Okay, that's my other connection now. They deserve that. They've been an underdog, man. They've been working hard for a long ass
And when
time.
they won it, they were technically the Texans, right? Were they the Dallas Texans when they won it, or were they KC?
They were KC.
They were KC.
That's right. Yeah.
But yeah, no, pretty much good little thing to look forward to in football. At least.
Yeah, and I'm confident I'm gonna win. So.
We'll see. I'm not betting any money on it because I don't have any faith at all. It's just who I want to win. So.
Yeah.
But moving on from there, Damian sent me something. I was happy that I wasn't driving a truck. Green Arrow is by far my favorite superhero.
Yeah.
Like,
As you guys know,
Yes.
talking about it for a while.
totally fangirl out.
Yeah.
Waiting for a movie, just straight up Green Arrow. But wait till it's perfect. But you sent me a photo of basically like a little small news report. Someone reported that there could potentially be a post-credit scene in Birds of Prey that would basically be Green Arrow interrogating Harley Quinn trying to find Black Canary. And the picture he sent me also had Charlie Hunnam as the Green Arrow, so
Yeah,
I
and I'm
like,
sure whoever posted that is like wanting that to happen too.
dude, I would lose my shit.
Well, they've been talking about that for quite some time
Yeah.
now, right?
And
As far
uh,
as them, like coming into the
and
movie franchise.
even a couple of months ago, he had an interview, and they're like, "You've had talks to play Green Arrow and stuff in the past, right?" And he's like, and he even admitted, like, "Yeah, but nothing's come of it." Every time someone says something like that, Henry Cavill, when he got cast as The Witcher, a month before he did an interview with IGN, and he was like, they're like, "What's your favorite like game to play right now?" He's like, "I've been crazy about The Witcher, and like I've been this or that," and like he already had like auditioned for
He
it
already
and
knew.
everything. Yeah, he knew he was getting. He was just waiting for that last phone call.
Yeah.
And so he did the interview with IGN, and IGN even brought him back after like it was revealed that he was cast. And they're like, "Did you already know?" He's like, "Kind of, but like it wasn't like confirmed yet."
Right.
I was like, "You bastard!" He's like, "I read all the books, played the game." I'm like, the only reason you do that, unless you're super passionate, like anybody can be cool.
Yeah.
Right.
The only reason you do that is if you know, hey, I need to learn the source material so I can bring it to the screen.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
Coach thought it was a good book.
and honestly, like I told you before everybody showed up, I fell in love with that TV show to the point where I haven't been able to put that stupid game down. Like,
Yeah.
I'm probably like a 16th through the game, and I've been playing for like 40 hours.
Yeah.
I can't quit doing side stuff. It's pissing me off. But yeah, I'm super stoked, and now I will probably be going opening night. Thursday night, I'll probably try to go buy a ticket to Birds of Prey.
Yeah,
So.
I'll definitely be there too. Because unlike a lot of people, I think I'm more excited about the movie because I think it definitely has some potential. And I think it's gonna shock a lot of people.
The
I
last
really do.
the last couple weeks of things that they've been showing have gotten me more excited, so I'm all about
Yeah,
it.
and it's rated R.
That's
Yeah.
what I do like too.
Yeah.
It is rated R.
I'm excited to see how rated R. Is it rated R because of a little bit of blood, or is it?
I think it's probably more language.
Yeah, from what I read, there's like strong language, violence, some sexual content, and some drug use.
So possibly
sense,
along
yeah.
the lines of like Deadpool, but not so much fourth wall breaking. Actually, it's Harley Quinn, so probably.
And I wouldn't think as sexually.
Mm.
As far as the
far.
sexual stuff, they'll probably show.
No baby legs. No baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. I don't know what your guys' feelings are on that movie. I don't know if you've really been looking at it.
I mean, I'm excited about it. I know, like, when I first heard about the movie, I wasn't so excited because I thought it was gonna directly be like a spin-off of Suicide Squad. Which, don't get me wrong, Suicide Squad had some decent moments that I enjoyed, but overall wasn't necessarily my cup of tea.
It didn't live up to the hype.
Yeah, so
Did
whenever
you go back and watch it the second time?
but when the first trailer came out, it wasn't so psyched. But once things started to develop a little bit more, and I started to do a little bit more research, I definitely got a little bit more hype about it.
Yeah. No, and I know we didn't write this down, but I'm also looking forward to the Suicide Squad.
Yes.
Basically, call it a soft reboot.
Okay.
Directed by James Gunn.
Okay.
They've already released some pictures and stuff. They've been filming for a couple months and everything already. They may even be in post-production at this point. But they released photos of like their squad, which had like Pete Davidson. I don't know who he was playing.
Pete Davidson.
They had that one like German dude. I can't think of his name right now. They had David Dust Smallchin as Polka Dot Man. They had some crazy names. And the theory is that crew of people all die at the beginning of the movie. And then that's when they go back and they look for Harley Quinn and stuff like that to bring her back into the squad. There's no Will Smith. He's being replaced with Idris Elba. I don't know if he's going to be Deadshot or if they're just bringing in another character because it conflicted with Will Smith's shooting schedule.
Okay.
But I'm really excited for it. Soft reboot / sequel. So
That seems interesting.
yeah,
Seems very interesting.
I just hope they find a way to get rid of Jared Leto's Joker, but still keep the Joker because I want a Joker. I just don't want that Joker.
Right, Joker.
What would they bring Joaquin?
I would love.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
I would love to see him around other people. The only thing that hurts that is you have a time frame that the Joker movie was set in. You would have to do some multiverse stuff.
I want the Joker to stay as a one-off movie. I do not want to see him alongside any of these other characters like going on.
I still want to see Spider-Man multiverse with Tobey Maguire.
Okay, and so me and you had a conversation on this a little while ago. You told me that you would like to see, basically like in the next Spider-Man movie, they do like a flashback and show you Uncle Ben. And you said you wanted it to be Tobey Maguire.
Yeah,
which I think
There
would
was
be
rumors about that.
There's rumors, yeah.
and that would be
Everyone came for it.
fantastic.
I would lose my shit.
That would be perfect.
Because the J.K. Simmons things at the end of Far From Home already got me going.
Right.
So, like, if I see Toby,
That's
that's my Spider-Man.
The only thing, in my opinion, that can make that better is you do Spider-Verse. And you have him meet another Spider-Man, and then about halfway through the movie, he unmasks. And instead of it being Peter Parker, it's Ben Parker, and it's played by Tobey Maguire.
Yes.
That would be interesting as well. That would be very dope. Yeah.
And it hit me in the feels on two levels because A, it's Uncle Ben,
yeah,
and B,
Tobey Maguire.
dude,
I would probably
kill
legit
him.
cry.
Right?
I probably would.
I would. I think that'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
But, so staying on the track with superhero news, what happened on January 27th?
Matt Reeves posted a picture. And Batman officially started filming.
I cannot wait. So, we haven't had you on to really talk about it, and I don't really know if you have an opinion. What do you think about Robert Pattinson as Batman?
I'm excited for it.
I think it's a really good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone wants to judge him because of the whole Twilight thing, but he doesn't even like the Twilight character. He hated the whole damn thing.
That's all the general audience knows is Twilight.
You know,
I did love the memes when he was cast though, because they're like, we're gonna get a sparkly Batman.
You know,
I was like, no.
You know, his favorite role that he ever played was Cedric Diggory. Was that his name?
Oh, Harry Potter.
Yeah.
That was his very not his
That was his
first.
first major.
That was his second because he did a movie where he played the son of Reese Witherspoon. I can't remember the movie. You'll have to look it up on IMDb. But
Are you talking about Water for Elephants?
no, that was
Okay,
another
no.
movie where they played a couple.
Okay, I was gonna say because that was.
No, like it was before Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
So that's
Either-
like
either
early
before or
2000s.
Yeah,
Okay.
because the first like major thing that he was in that like put him on the stage was Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Okay.
That's what like took him to that next level.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
So
So back to the original question.
Yeah.
Very excited to see this. Can't wait, actually. I'm gonna be in the first row. I'm not wearing my shirt. Go Robert!
Vanity Fair is what it's called.
okay. So then, have you guys heard who all of the other cast is?
No.
Okay.
Zoe Kravitz, Catwoman.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Another little fun fact though, it's her second time playing Catwoman. Lego Batman.
Yeah.
Oh.
She voiced Catwoman. I know it's a little cheap, but
Yeah.
then you got Penguin, Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell is Pink.
Okay, I did hear about that. I
Yeah.
didn't know if that was true or not.
You guys know who Paul Dano is?
Remember from Swiss Army Man?
The main
where he was on the
character.
beach and Daniel Radcliffe is the
The
corpse that he
corpse.
drags around.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul Dano.
That's him.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's playing the
Riddler.
Riddler, which is a genius. fucking move.
Did you ever watch the TV show Westworld?
I know what that is.
Okay.
I don't think I've watched it.
Other thing that I know he's in. Have you ever watched Game Night?
Yeah.
He's the dude that they hire to put the game on and everything.
Uh-huh.
Like one of the ones who actually works for the company.
Yeah.
The older black dude,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Jim Gordon.
Okay.
I think there was one other person cast, but I can't remember. But even then, just in that group.
That's a pretty flawless
Yeah.
cast. Yeah.
So, I'm happy with the direction they're pretty much going with anyone. I like that they're not trying to... like, I loved Danny DeVito as the Penguin, but I'm happy they're not trying to make it to where this person has to be fat and like, fit that like stereotype looking way. Because the only person that could pull it off, in my opinion, at that point, would be Danny DeVito.
Mm-hmm.
So... But it does get me so much more excited for these roles.
Yeah, and like we were talking about in a few videos ago, I really hope that they go with like the same kind of tone that they did with the Joker, with Joaquin Phoenix's Joker.
Yeah.
I want it to be like more grounded like that and not as like superhero,
Yeah.
esque.
No, I want to
Yeah,
see
that
some
makes
DC.
sense.
I want to see DC movies that aren't just like super fucking dark, man.
In this one, I hope this one is dark.
Well, I want to be able to see the screen. Is my point.
Oh, you're talking okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about, like,
So if we're talking that though, did you like the animated series when you were growing up? The Batman animated series.
Yeah, of course.
So you know how that was so dark?
Yeah.
Like visually.
Uh-huh.
When they normally write a TV show, like a cartoon, they do everything and they just draw on paper. Well, they couldn't get colors dark enough, so what they did is they used black paper and found colors light enough to go on.
That makes sense.
Oh, okay.
So,
So that's why it's really dark.
Yeah.
so if you want a DC movie that doesn't look dark, Wonder Woman, 1984.
Yeah, that
Looks
looks like
super poppy.
Yeah, I want to see that.
I will say that Birds of Prey kind of surprised me because it feels like it's supposed to be super. It feels like it's supposed to have a darker tone, but all of the marketing has bright colors.
It does. It has bright colors, but it still looks on the
Like
on
almost
the dark side.
almost grungy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, like I
with
was
that.
saying, visually it looks really good. I think. So.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I will say that was the main thing I didn't like about Shazam though, because while they were going with a lighter tone, everything still felt really dark.
I would
Yeah.
agree with that. I would definitely agree with that. And I was actually a pretty huge fan of Shazam. I enjoyed that movie.
Maybe it had to do with the fact that his suit was so bright.
Yeah, well, I don't know, dude, because I don't. If you ever watch the cartoons, like, he's supposed to be on the same level as Superman. Like, literally, the only reason that he's in DC is because he's a carbon copy of Superman that they had to sue, what was it? Not Image. Fawcett Comics, I believe,
Mm.
and take it from them because they ripped off Superman. So, and I could be wrong about the comic company, but that's why he's in DC, and so he's supposed to be bright. He's supposed to be happy. I was happy to see a different version of Superman where it was a little darker in Man of Steel. I still wish they'd make a sequel with
That's a
Henry Cavill.
masterpiece,
Dude, love it. And everyone has their opinion on it, and I get
Yeah.
that. But I would love to see Shazam with a brighter tone. And I will say, the kid they had playing, what was his name, Freddy?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's also from the It movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
love that kid's acting. Like he pulls everything he does, he pulls off
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
So
And what pissed me off about that movie is at the end where they brought in Superman, and it wasn't Henry Cavill. It's just
it was his
from the
suit.
You just saw it.
Like
yeah,
really,
you
that's
just
so
saw his
fucking
suit.
lame.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't want to give him. They're still in contract talks with him, which irritates me because
Yeah.
I loved him.
Yes.
As Superman. He was fantastic. Especially once you brought in Batman, he seemed lighter.
Yes.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah. To where, like, yeah, he seemed dark for Man of Steel, but as soon as you bring in Batman,
And that's
kinda
what
has to
served
have
that story, though.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Yeah.
But so like, they could have done better things in Batman vs Superman, like
Right.
no Martha.
Yeah.
Fucking Martha.
Why did you say that name?
And like I said, dude, that 30 minutes you're missing in the extended version kills that. Like it
Right.
even sits better if you have the extended version.
Yep.
But they need to bring him back, finish his contract talks. Obviously, I would like. I don't know how I feel about the Batman situation. Unless they're able to do some sort of Flashpoint thing in Wonder Woman 1984.
They could. It's a possibility because, yeah.
And
we'll see.
at that point, I'd be comfortable getting rid of Ben Affleck. It sucks that he wasn't able to do the movie the way he wanted to and everything.
Yeah.
'Cause, like,
this
even-
was to take place in Arkham.
Yes. It was almost kind of be like Arkham Asylum-ish.
Yeah.
Which would have made me happy.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see the new one because of the fact that it's supposed to be like noir, more detective.
Yeah.
And there's rumors it's based off the Long Halloween, which is why they have all these villains in it. So.
And I would be so excited. I am really excited to see how many other villain cameos you get and casting.
Right.
That'd be good.
And whether or not those castings stick. Because if it's someone that's under heavy makeup and stuff, you can do exactly what they did with Thanos in the original Avengers, where Damian, I can't remember dude's last name, but it wasn't even
Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin
Yeah.
in the original. That was only in Guardians of the Galaxy
Mm.
when that first happened.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what they do with all that. But sticking with movie news, yesterday, Fast and Furious 9 trailer dropped.
Not impressed.
John Cena! I'm not gonna lie, that's the only reason I want to watch it.
Yeah.
Especially because when I saw he was cast, I was like, okay, they're gonna make him like a military dude, and it's just gonna be like copy and paste from Marine, something like that.
But no, it's his fucking
He's
brother.
I was amazed they had the balls to do that.
Like really, just out of nowhere, he has a brother.
Right.
This whole fucking.
Especially when this dude
Yeah.
preaches family all the time.
Where the fuck was he?
Yeah. We're all family. Family.
Well, she was probably like living somewhere, training hard.
Well,
Yeah, this is I don't know. It's
It-
stupid.
I will watch it. It's the first time that it's given me a reason to reach out and look at it in a while, because ever since Fast and Furious, so I guess it would have been 7, I haven't felt like there's really a reason to watch it because Paul Walker's.
Yeah, and the
I
ending-
watched 7 because Paul Walker.
Yeah, and the ending to that, where they kind of drive off in their separate ways, that was like a perfect ending to the whole franchise.
Oh, yeah.
But
They-
no,
yeah,
they
they
gotta
should've
go
stopped.
and like try to, whatever.
You
But-
just want to keep making that money, man.
Yeah.
And dude, they have spin-offs planned with Charlize Theron, Hobbs, and what, is it Helen Mirren? the
Yeah,
mom?
Helen Mirren.
I mean,
Yeah.
shit, they can go another 10 years. with
Yeah.
spin-offs, you know what I mean?
They're gonna do the same thing Star Wars is doing,
So,
man.
so here's the thing. All it takes is one to bomb.
Yeah.
And then they're done.
Yeah, true.
Um,
and this is not gonna be it.
Evidenced by the fact that when Walking Dead was at its peak, the producers were all like, "Oh yeah, no, we can go forever. Like,
And then they
we can
bombed.
keep it going and going and going." The last 3 years have been so bad ratings wise.
Yeah.
Really?
This is last year.
Really?
Yeah.
I was about to say they're still going, aren't
Yeah,
they? Okay.
they're going on their last year now, but they
Okay.
still have Fear of the Walking Dead, so they're gonna have that for
Yeah.
a little while.
I checked out Walking Dead in season 2.
And
I watched
I
it
would
season 7.
agree with that.
Yeah.
Like season 2, once they got to the prison.
Yeah.
That's
Honestly,
what
I feel like that was one of
kinda-
their best seasons.
Yeah, well, I think after that season was when I was cutting out of
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean?
After season 3, that show just
Yeah, because I remember when that first when that show first came out. Like
Yeah,
even
we watched the pilot episode. I think the night it came out.
yeah, the shit. Even my dad fell in love with that. He's
Yeah.
not a TV guy. You know what I mean?
So I'm
So
pretty sure they're gonna have another video game coming out. I mark my words.
They canceled.
They do have
They-
another one.
they
It's a
can-
VR game.
really well. Okay, that makes sense because they had
They have
Walking Dead Overkill or something like
Something like
that.
that.
But they
And-
canceled it.
So I was actually looking forward to that because it looked like a more thought out Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, I would
Um,
agree with that.
And then after World War Z came out, I think they saw the reaction to that, and the fact that Skybound, the studio that Robert Kirkman owned, wasn't comfortable with the way everything was turning out. They said, "Alright, we're just gonna wash our hands and walk away."
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm looking forward to basically whatever they do video game wise with that. They have one called Saints and Sinners that they're doing right now.
Okay.
So we'll see how that turns out. But that's the VR game I was talking about.
Okay.
So, what do we got next?
So, moving on from that, we got favorite horror games of all time.
Of all time.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. I keep saying interesting.
Hey,
Yeah.
trust me, every time I watch one of these, like, I love doing podcasts. It's really fun.
Yeah.
I notice my habits, and they piss me off the whole week until I do it again. Like, every time I'm like, yo, I'm so excited. I'm like, find some other words to use, because you're pissing me off.
Yeah. I catch myself doing that.
So like, oh. But that's one thing I think this is good for. At the same time, doing podcasts and doing videos, you kind of learn your habits, and you're like, okay, I can see why people would get tired of me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So you go first. What would be your favorite all time? If you need to, because I know it's hard to pick, you can go top 2 or 3.
All right. I might have to do that. Let's see here. I would probably have to take it a little old school and probably have to go with the very original Resident Evil for PS1.
Yeah.
I blame my father, but I was about 4 or 5 years old, and I remember my dad. He would work kind of late nights, so he would stay up during the night and play that game. And I snuck out of my room, and I was just standing behind his chair for probably like a good 30 minutes before he noticed me. So that's probably one of my favorites, just because of, first of all, nostalgic reasons, and it's a perfect game.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard as hell with the controls and everything, but perfect game.
That and the fixed camera.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. This isn't gonna go off into my other two, but I will say, as far as the Resident Evil series go, Resident Evil Survivor. was
Yeah,
also
we used
a
to
really
play
good
that
one.
one a lot,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was.
I don't know if I played that one.
It was. I think it was the first first-person Resident Evil game, if
Yeah.
I recall.
Okay.
What was his name? Alan.
Something weird like
You start off in like the middle of the street, and you just have your little fucking gun thing right in the middle of the screen, and you just go around and start popping these zombies. But moving on, I'd probably say it's hard.
I mean, even if that's the one you want to stick with, or we can each do one and then come back. That way you have a little bit of time.
Let's
to
do
think
that.
about it. Favorite of all time, I'll say. You ever play Alan Wake?
Yeah, I played it once.
So I thought it looked and sounded so dumb before I played it. Cause I'm like,
I still don't know like the concept.
so the concept is, this dude's an author.
Okay.
And him and his wife go on this trip to basically like get away so he can like get rid of his writer's block. And they get to the cabin and everything, they chill, and he decides to sit down and start writing. Once he starts writing, he blacks out.
Okay.
He wakes up, his wife has disappeared, and he has to find her in this small town. And so anytime you find an enemy in the game, you have a flashlight. And you
Okay.
have to light them up before you can kill them.
Okay.
And so, like, you can just sit there and unload rounds, but if your battery's dead on your flashlight,
You're screwed.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's interesting.
that game got my blood pumping. But it had one of the best narrative stories. people are still pissed that they haven't come out with a sequel. It is, like I said, it's by far my favorite one. If you're not ever gonna play it because it's Xbox
360,
early 360,
yeah.
Ending, you basically like find out that he wrote himself into this corner, and he has to write himself out.
Interesting.
So
Keep saying it there.
dude, like I said, I'll slip up on the things that irritate me while we're doing this too. But I'm definitely hoping that they'll come out with another one because they just came out with another sort of sequel game to it. It actually won Game of the Year last year for most people. It was called Control.
Yes, that game is really. That's the one with the female, right?
Yeah.
That game is awesome. I played
Oh,
it
you
a
played
little bit when I was in Missouri not too long ago.
Okay.
It was great. I loved it.
I really do want to play that. I've been waiting for it to go on sale in the Xbox store.
Yeah, it's a very interesting concept and like just the way the game flows. It's very smooth, very like just very cinematic too. Like you get these like powers where you could like fucking pick up this chair and like explode it and throw it at these dudes. You know what I mean? Like it was really cool.
So, the the business or corporation or whatever she works for in that game is ran by Alan Wake.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So I don't know how they got to that, but even if it's just an Easter egg, it makes me happy, and that's the main reason I've been wanting to play that game.
Right.
So we'll see how all that goes in the future, but I don't want to play that game just for that.
Right.
Second, what would your
My favorite horror game of all time. So my favorite horror game, is different from my favorite horror franchise. Favorite horror franchise video games is Resident Evil.
Okay.
And it has been since I was about 6.
Yeah.
And I have like so many memories, especially like playing Resident Evil 4 on the Wii. Then me and Brandon, we got Resident Evil 5 the day it came out, and we beat it that night. We played it all night long. And but favorite horror game would be Silent Hill 2.
But very nostalgic.
Yeah,
Very
that's the first time I
nostalgic.
played it was when you got it from my birthday.
Okay.
Yeah, and then beat it shortly after that. But yeah, that was like probably the most intense, eerie kind of experience I've had. playing the
Especially
game.
with like the frames when you're going throughout the different streets and stuff like that. That was definitely very eerie.
Yeah, but yeah, whole franchise Resident Evil game, Silent Hill 2.
Okay.
That would have to be for me.
Okay. I did love that remake
Mm.
of Resident Evil 2 last year. Too.
Yep,
It was really
awesome.
good.
Yeah.
It was better than I expected
Yeah.
it to be.
Dude, that took over. Like, I was like, why are you gonna just remake a game? Like,
Right.
why not come out with a sequel? Because everybody's waiting for Resident Evil 8. right
8,
now.
yeah.
Right.
Which we'll get into in a minute. But, so it made me wonder, like, why not just keep going? And then they did it. Because if you look back at it, the graphics aren't that rough now if you look at the original Resident Evil 2.
Yes.
Going back and playing that with any smoothness, out the window.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Everything they did to remake that, all the nods like that they went back and fixed, like the welcome sign, the welcome Leon sign, is changed from the original one.
Yeah.
But they like give little Easter eggs that made people happy because I think they misspelled the word welcome in the original game.
Oops.
So, like every little nod and like hat tip they did in that game made me happy. That and it was beautifully made, like
Yeah.
graphically perfect.
Very good, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to 3
Yeah,
coming
April
out
3rd.
soon.
Hell yeah.
April 3rd.
Yeah.
so stoked. And you?
I want to play that Marvel's Avengers game.
Oh no,
No,
we're-
horror video game.
horror game.
Oh.
This is what happens when you walk away.
I'm sorry. I had pizza.
But the pizza could have waited. Either
Are
way.
you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. So, favorite horror game?
Of all time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dante's Inferno.
Oh,
Very good.
Yeah.
That's a
I
great
honestly,
one. I feel like not a lot of people talk about that game anymore.
I love that.
I feel like it's an underdog game because they got a lot of bad response because a lot of people said it was like a knockoff of God of War. And
Exactly. I know what the fighting style was.
The fighting
very
style,
similar.
yeah, it was
Yeah,
just like
it's
that.
very
Yeah.
similar, and it still kind of went that like mythological kind of route, but they
Yeah.
went more of like
Catholic.
Catholic
Yeah,
route. Exactly.
And I think I beat that game like 3
Well, here's the
times.
thing.
Yeah,
you
dude.
guys know it's based off books, right?
Yeah,
It's based off of Dante's
Yeah,
Inferno.
yeah,
the
yeah.
Divine
It's
Comedies.
based the Divine Comedies.
Yeah.
And it was, if you guys, I don't know if you guys have read them. I read them in Italian because I'm cool like that. You hit me up.
You gave us a whole rundown, remember, at your apartment? That
Yeah,
one?
I gave him a whole rundown
Yeah.
of all 3 parts of it.
Mhm.
But yeah, I thought the game was relatively accurate according to the book.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it was like, it was a little different because Dante or whoever the main character is, I forget what the heck his name was in the game.
Yeah, it was Dante.
But they made him a Templar.
Dante Algieri or something.
yeah.
English is my only language. So.
Anyway, they made him like a Templar in the game. And, like they didn't really reference that in the books at all.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just like a couple of small things, like the way it kind of went down.
Mm-hmm.
It was chronological. It just wasn't exact. But I thought it was pretty close, and I thought it was really cool for them to bring something in ancient literature or medieval literature to life like that.
Yeah.
You know what's weird about you bringing up that game though? I did not even think about that as a horror game until you said that, because I literally just thought of it as like action
Adventure.
RPG. Yeah,
Right.
basically. It's a
Because
horror game.
and I thought that too, because originally my first pick was gonna be Splatterhouse, but I thought that would be more.
Oh, I remember that one.
Yeah, I absolutely love that game to death. I
Yeah.
bought in that game probably over 4 times
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, and that's the thing though, like, any genre is too big to, like, too widespread to really be like, this is what a
it
horror
is.
game is.
Yeah.
Right.
So, because you have games like Alan Wake, then you got Resident Evils, where you have more of like a narrative-driven thing.
Survival horror.
Yeah.
Survival. And then also you have like Supernatural with like Outlast and
Fear.
Fear.
Yeah.
I guess
Fear
Evil,
2.
Evil Within would kind of be in that category as paranormal, maybe.
Yeah, I loved Evil Within.
Yeah.
Evil Within 2 had a better ending, but I feel like I enjoyed Evil Within 1.
I liked them both. I beat both games.
Mhm.
I did.
I don't even think I played the second
No,
one.
I will say the first one was hard as hell. The second one I felt was definitely a little bit more easy as far as like movements and like I don't know if you recall this at all, but like in the first one you get chopped up like twice by an enemy, you're dead.
Yeah.
You know
Dude.
what I mean?
That first enemy, when you wake up in that, like, basically like butcher
Yeah.
spot,
Yeah.
I died like 10
Yeah,
times
dude,
before
yeah.
the game started.
Yeah.
It was
But-
horrible.
Concept, story wise, and look wise, very
Yeah.
very good game. Very good game.
Hey, what about? I don't know if you remember the Saw video games.
Ooh.
I remember me and you and I believe Steven.
Yeah, well, Steve.
We downloaded the demo on my 360.
Yeah.
And we couldn't even beat the demo.
Yeah, and I got the game after that. The
Yeah.
PS3.
Yep, yep.
I beat it. That game's like,
I never finished
I
it. I wanted to go back and do it.
yeah.
It would be kind of cool if maybe they brought something like that nowadays.
Or
with,
yeah,
like,
or even
you know what I
just
mean?
like a Saw 3, because they did a second Saw video game,
Yeah.
and I never played that
It
one.
was not.
I think,
it wasn't
I think
great.
they got like fucking a 1 out of
Horrible
5.
Because
Yeah.
that first game you're playing as Taft, correct?
You're playing as
Danny Glover's
Yes.
character?
Yeah.
Which, one thing that amazes me is, A, how much of a low budget they had for that movie. And B, that they got Danny Glover. Like, they got some really good actors for that movie.
They shot that movie in 18 days. It took 18 days to shoot that movie.
It's insane
Yeah.
because of the fact, it's the fan.
Oh, okay.
You're getting some wind
Is
in.
that you like a gerbil in there?
Oh,
He's
no.
hungry.
I knew you were gonna go there. I knew you were going there.
In your ass through it too. Okay.
I don't even know where I was now. But,
You're welcome.
what game were we talking about?
Saw.
Oh, Saw. Oh, so we were talking about the movie. I was amazed they got Carrie.
Terry Ellis.
Yeah. Because I hadn't seen him since Princess Bride.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
He was in small roles here and there.
And,
At
but
that time.
he, like, to me, he disappeared because, like, if it wasn't in theaters, I never watched it.
Right. He was in Liar Liar with Jim Carrey. I don't know if you ever watched them.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
I forgot he was in that.
Yeah.
I had
he
a
was in
bus
there.
driver that was in Liar Liar.
For real?
Really? Which one?
You know the scene in Liar Liar where he gets his car towed and he goes to the tow truck area or
The guy he
whatever.
talks to there?
And the big like kind of fat guy in
Yeah.
the suit and he's just like,
Santa
I
Claus?
don't know what you're talking about. Where because Jim Carrey has like a scratch on his
Yeah,
car.
he shows me. He's like, oh, that was right there.
Yeah.
Santa Claus.
That
I know
guy
you're
was
talking
my
about.
bus driver from like grade like.
Was that Clayton?
No, it was
Where was that?
Perryview.
Was that?
Oh.
Yeah, it
high
was
school.
middle school.
Oh, middle school.
Middle
okay.
school, so it was 7th to like almost 9th grade. I
Okay.
think. Yeah,
Okay.
but he showed me the scene. He was just like, believe it or not, I only get paid 25 cents for royalties every check, and I was just like, that makes sense why you're a bus driver. So
Right.
yeah, a little fact.
That is kind of crazy, actually. So I did say, so unless everybody wants to go one more game, I think we're going to move on to more Resident Evil news.
Yeah. Resident Evil 8.
Resident Evil 8 was leaked. It's not the most reputable source, but even IGN reported on it. Basically, what it is they basically are talking about it being Ethan from Resident Evil 7.
Okay.
It won't be called Resident Evil 8. It will be called, it'll have like some subtitle, be Resident Evil whatever.
Yeah.
They're talking about introducing for the very first time in Resident Evil werewolves.
Yeah, I saw a picture. I didn't read the article, but yeah.
I would be excited with it. I'm looking forward to anything Resident Evil's doing right now, and it'll still be in first person.
Ah. Okay.
So, same protagonist from the first one, bring in some new monsters and stuff, and I heard they're also bringing back zombies, so it won't just be the, what did they call them? The like sludge monsters that they had in that game.
Ouroboros was like from 4 to 7, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like a different virus.
Yeah,
virus.
Yeah. So it should be, you should get the monsters from 7, which I can't remember their name, and then you should get some like probably like evolved version of the T virus and everything.
Yeah.
And now werewolves. So see how it continues to. And like I told him, I'd be happy if they used werewolves the way they use like Mr. X and Nemesis.
Yeah.
Where it's something that chases you throughout the whole game and you have like showdowns. But I don't want it to be something that can like outrun you where you're shitting your pants the whole time.
Right. Yeah, the games are hard enough to begin with.
Oh,
Yeah.
So either way, I'm looking forward to whatever we do.
For sure. And I guess moving on from that, still video game related news. We're going to talk about some upcoming video games.
Okay,
this
you want to go
year.
now, Nate?
Yeah, I'll go now.
Yeah.
Marvel's Avengers. That's one I want to play.
Okay.
Because I want to see if they kill Iron Man or not.
I don't think so.
Or is it just be like a battle royale, kind of like how DC
No,
Universe
it's going to be a story game.
It's
Because it's not related to the movies at all.
It's completely separate. It's their own gaming universe. If it's
Okay.
tied to anything, it'll be tied to the Spider-Man PS4 game.
yeah.
That'd be cool.
What is it?
I'm hoping.
That's one of the games I played.
And if you go back and you play it, there's an Easter egg where Spider-Man is swinging by the Avengers Tower,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Oh man, like." He's like, I wonder what they're doing right now. They've been on the West Coast for a while, or something like that, basically. And so that was like a little nod to the fact that in the Avengers game, like all the trailers, A-Day they're calling it, happens in San Francisco
Yeah.
compared to New York. So
New York.
he's on the West Coast.
They did mention that there's 2 to 3 cameos in this video game. I'm kind of hoping Spider-Man's one of them.
Well,
you know.
and I heard it's a pretty big roster of people you can play as, because you're going to have Black Widow,
Right.
Captain America, Iron Man,
Hulk.
I believe Ant-Man?
Okay.
I don't quote me on Ant-Man, I know Hulk, and then Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel.
Someone tells me there's gonna be some buy-ons.
I don't know who the villains are supposed to be.
Okay.
So, either way, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. I think they're probably gonna lean more towards some like big faction like a Hydra or something. But either way, we'll see. I'm excited for that. But like I said earlier, I'm excited for that, Cyberpunk 2077 primarily, and I'm more excited for them. And it sounds stupid, but I'm more excited for them because they've been delayed.
I'm excited for it because of Keanu Reeves.
Cyberpunk
True.
2077. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
For
that
sure.
makes sense.
Anytime a game gets delayed, though, it means that there's more thought, there's more
And saw
time.
something they didn't like, probably.
Yeah,
Right.
like Red Dead 2. If they were to have released that broken,
It would have flopped.
there would have been like a revolt. No one,
Yeah.
people would be returning the game. There would be no current sales.
People would not trust Rockstar
Yeah,
anymore.
which is not the Rockstar way, which is why I'm happy they haven't put GTA 6 yet,
Yeah.
or even a Bully 2, because if they come out with it, it needs to be perfect.
Yeah.
From,
Forgot about Bully.
Yeah, from what I've heard too, I saw this off of not necessarily a reliable source, but from what I've saw in this source is GTA 6 is going to be in production once the new generation systems come out.
That makes sense. 'Cause I
And-
feel like they were waiting for that.
Right.
I honestly expected them to do it already, because if you look at the way they did GTA 5, they released it right at the tail end of Xbox 360
Yes.
and PS.
Yeah. It's
Or-
2013. It
or
came out.
PS3. Yeah. So it's crazy to think it's already been 7 years.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is GTA 5, believe, is like still one of the highest like played games.
Top 3 highest selling games in November.
Wow. See, I mean, it makes sense. I still play that game
Yeah.
religiously.
It's insane. And that's the thing, like, even if someone stops, someone new is buying it, and it's still getting monetization from the microtransactions, all the shark cards and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But even that was delayed. But the reason that they are trying, I figured they would have already released GTA 6, or even maybe in the next few months if they get trailers and stuff out, is because what they did with GTA 5 with the Xbox 360 is they released it like 3-4 months before Xbox One and PS4 came out. And all those people, they were like, you know what, if you come buy this game again, you can trade it for like $10 at GameStop, and you like trade your old one for the new one.
Right.
But then anybody who didn't know that would just go and buy the new one, and you'd get a whole nother sale on the same game from the same person.
Right.
And you were able to transfer all your online stuff over, so it was like, there was plenty of incentives to keep going with it.
You're calling on me? Thank you. If you guys happen to hear anything about any Assassin's Creeds coming out?
Ragnarok.
When is
Yeah,
that?
October.
October?
Yep.
Wow.
We will be playing, and that's probably my main game I'm excited for this year. I honestly keep forgetting about it because Ubisoft is horrible at keeping leaks on the DL.
Yeah.
Like, every game they've come out with, this game was leaked 2 years ago, and they just got confirmation that it's going to be called Ragnarok. They already released the characters' names. You can play as either male or female, just like in Odyssey. And so I'm excited because I've been on a huge Viking Norse kick, especially since God of War.
Why don't you learn to speak fucking Norwegian or some shit then?
Because I'm never going to go to Norway. If I learn any language, I'm going to learn Spanish because I have more people around here that I can talk to that way.
Habla conmigo, pues.
I didn't say I learned it. I'm going to eventually.
Well, it's not like something that you gotta actively try at.
I know, but throughout the year, not like right now.
First lesson.
What about you?
GTA 6 is what I was gonna choose.
Okay.
Yeah, because like honestly, I don't play a whole lot of video games, as you guys know. I buy one, I play it for like a day, and then I'm like, alright, I'm done. But you know, if it's Madden or any sports game, GTA, those are the games I do play. So that's what I'm looking forward
Like
to.
the only games I played last year, the only games I played last year was Fraction Butthole and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, but those are my picks, so nothing too extravagant.
What about you?
I would definitely say Oddworld Soulstorm. I really hope that it comes out this year, and I think it is because they're releasing Stranger's Wrath on Switch now. So I think that's kind of like their way to start promoting Oddworld again.
Yeah, me and you used to play those games.
I love that
all the
game.
time.
Yeah, I absolutely.
What was the
love
one for the
it.
Xbox?
Munch's Odyssey.
Yeah, that
Munch's Odyssey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know
I'm a nerd when it comes to all that.
You know what they need to do a remake of? Freaking Simpsons Road Rage.
So there was a Simpsons
Well,
Hit and Run 2 in development, and that got canceled.
Really?
Yeah, it got canceled. But I think they won't make another Simpsons game.
Well, because you know Simpsons, they're like in the last season, so.
Well, they've said. You know how many times they've said that?
I know.
It's the 31st season right now.
Yeah.
They said that like every other season since their conception. I got you.
Well, Family Guy was literally canceled at one point.
Yeah.
And then 2 years later, I think it was about 2 years, came right back.
Didn't Futurama do the same shit?
Futurama's done the
It was a
same
little
thing
bit
like
more,
6 times.
Yeah, a little bit.
And they have been off for.
What are we gonna do when South Park finally gets canceled? You know, like what?
South Park, I believe, has 2 to 3 more seasons.
Yeah, they do. They signed a 5-year contract with Comedy
They're
Central.
not canceling anytime soon.
Not
It is-
anytime soon.
It
next
is the
couple
I
cheapest
feel like
show.
they're getting worn out though. They gotta be
Dude,
getting worn out.
Dude, it is the cheapest show that Comedy Central makes.
Oh yeah.
You know
Hands down.
what their production schedule is like with that?
Yeah.
Everything they do is about 3 days before the show airs.
Oh yeah. I know.
Because
Wow.
it
I've
is-
seen the same documentary. It takes 6 days for them to make a show.
The art
Yeah.
is that simple.
Uh-huh.
And they want to keep it topical. They want to be able to
Yeah.
make fun of a president or
Yeah.
Caitlyn Jenner
Yeah.
when it happens.
Yeah, they have like 1 day of like writing, like planning out, and then they have another day of recording, and they have another day of animation, like 2 days of animation.
Yeah, dude.
And then they
it's-
That's for each episode.
Yeah. So like back in their heyday, they used to write a whole episode, start to finish, in 6 days. So every week they would write a new episode fresh and barely make it in time to turn in the tape. Yeah.
Yeah, so Other than that, games-wise, I can't think of anything else that's coming out this year. So
Yeah.
Because I completely forgot about Assassin's Creed until you brought that up. I'm sure anybody brings up a specific
Oh.
franchise, I'll...
Isn't there going to be an AEW video game? I heard there's going to be an AEW video game.
Yes, but there is no confirmed date. Like, that could be next year for all I know. And I will buy it.
Yeah.
So, the reason WWE 2K20 was so bad is because a lot of the people there felt so confined because 2K wouldn't let them do any. Ukes,
Yeah.
the company that helped them make for so long, they felt so confined and like they couldn't like stretch out and do anything new that a lot of them left. And that's why the production on that sucked, and there was so many glitches. That's why people still, like we reported it on our first or second podcast, that they had that game-breaking glitch on January 1st.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
So,
Y2K.
yeah, basically that's all it was.
Yeah.
So basically, a lot of those people are assumed to have gone over to whatever company is making the AEW video.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
I haven't played a wrestling game since SmackDown vs. Raw 2008.
I think it's going to be good.
Yeah.
That was also probably the last really good one too.
Yeah.
2007, we played that.
Yeah, I still have yours in my house.
Oh,
do you?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It was a SmackDown Here Comes Pain. Is that what?
That was
With
a whole
Brock Lesnar on the
Yeah,
cover?
yeah, that's
that
my
was
favorite.
that was a really good one.
Yeah.
You could make like the dopest characters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ever since 2K took over, it's been the same thing every year, and
Yeah.
it's laughably broken.
It's going to be really good at having another company. Well, not. I mean, you're saying it might be the same company, but there's going to be two different types of video games. Therefore, the technology is going to improve. That way, in the future years, we're going to have better wrestling video games.
I really hope so because I mean they even like this is quite some time ago too. But remember when they tried making the TNA video game?
I was actually gonna say something like
Yeah.
that.
Garbage. That game was absolute trash. Like you couldn't do a single move without getting frustrated,
Oh, yeah.
and the movements were just trash. Yeah.
I will agree on that front, but graphically, it's better than anything WWE's done in years. Like go back and
I
look
would
at
agree with that.
screenshots.
I would agree with
That
that.
game looks clean compared to current WWE games.
Right.
It looks real choppy. You know what modern WWE games look like? You know what those characters look like? It looks like fucking Madden 2002. That's what it looks like.
It's awful.
I would have more fun playing backyard wrestling on PS2 than play the
Yeah.
WWE
Yes,
games.
absolutely.
I have more fun body slamming
ICP,
than-
Backyard Wrestling. Remember those games?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. I'd rather play those than the fucking
Yeah.
new
Those
WWE
games.
games.
I would love to go back and play games I used to play on PlayStation 1, like SmackDown 2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, or like what was the one? Remember the one that I had WWF Warzone?
Yeah,
with fucking
Warzone.
Steve Austin on the front. Like that game was so fun. I was always Mankind and shit.
There were so many good games back then, like No Mercy. I remember that was the first game I ever like waited for was SmackDown 2 though.
Yeah.
Going to the mall with my uncle and my mom to go get our pre-orders, and that's the only game I ever pre-ordered until I was like 12 and Fable 2 came out. Like I
Fair
loved
enough.
Fable
Fair
2.
enough. Fair
Fable.
enough.
Those are big.
Oh, that is another game that either has potential to come out this year or next year.
Fable?
Fable 4.
Fable
wow.
4.
It'll either be a full reboot or, but it's made by the company that makes the Forza Horizon games.
That would be pretty cool. And if they do go that route, I hope they kind of just reboot it.
I hope they redo a Left 4 Dead or make another one.
I'd be good with it, but they need to
had-
graphically step it up.
Yeah, well, they had Left 4 Dead 3.
Just playing, wasn't it?
They had the cover art out and everything. I remember this, but I think, and don't quote unquote me or anything, but I believe the company that was doing it canceled it because they didn't have enough funds.
Mm.
That and it was taking way too long to make,
Yeah.
costing them way too much money.
And I believe, and don't quote me on this too, but I believe Left 4 Dead was it was bought by a company.
Mhm.
So like the original Left 4 Dead, not the Left 4 Dead we know, was actually a Japanese video game, the arcade video game.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Who makes Left 4 Dead? It's Valve, isn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Valve.
there's
they're
a
so
different
flaky when it
company.
comes to sequels.
Valve was the company that bought.
That
Left 4
bought it,
Dead.
okay.
And don't quote unquote me. I could totally be wrong,
Yeah.
but that's what I believe.
Well, if you are hurting for a more recent version of something like that, you can go play World War Z. It's not fantastic, but it's not.
It's a horde video game. It's a horde zombie video game. I feel
And-
like honestly, you'd have a better time playing what is it called? It was one of the very first zombie video games that came out for PS4, and the new one comes out in February. It's like Army Zombie or something like that.
Okay.
On the cover it has like a zombie with
the Zombie
head on
Army?
it. Yeah, Zombie Army, yeah.
I played the trilogy, or I played the third one in the trilogy. I would be interested to see what they could do with the fourth one.
What's your favorite zombie video game?
Zombie video game?
Resident Evil. Well, 4 is not technically zombies, but
Yeah.
Zombie related.
it's zombie related.
Yeah.
So I'm choosing Resident Evil 4.
I'm putting my vote on Plants vs Zombies.
That's corny. You're so corny.
Yeah, fuck it, dude.
I would probably, for the most part, have to say Resident Evil 2. If not Resident Evil 2...
Original or remake Resident Evil 2?
If we're going original, I'm going Resident Evil 1.
You see, I'm hoping you guys
But
can
remake Resident Evil 2.
I see. I played a zombie video game like years ago. I don't even remember the name of it because I never finished the fucking video game. I bought it for my sister and she didn't want it because it's too scary. Basically, it's a zombie infection that goes down like on an island.
Dead Island.
Dead Island.
Yeah, that one.
Oh,
That was
okay.
hard.
That
My-
was pretty good.
so that actually changes my answer. Would be Resident Evil, not Dead Island.
Dying Light.
Thank you.
Oh.
Which, that just got delayed, the sequel.
It did get delayed, but hopefully for a good reason.
I'm hoping as well.
Yeah.
No,
That one
was
makes
the
me more
first one good? I never played
Dying
it.
Light, yeah. I mean, I think I beat that game twice, and then they came out with that DLC.
The Fallen?
Yeah, and I played that. It was great. It's basically like excuse like my basic term, but it's like a parkour zombie game.
It's Dead Island on a bigger platform and done better.
Yes,
Okay.
I would agree.
What about Dead Rising? The first one was good, I thought.
Yes, I am a fan of the Dead Rising franchise and series. I will say that was probably one of the series that I fell off of though. Like
Yeah.
probably after the what was it?
Second one was alright.
I love the third one.
What
I'm
was
not
that?
gonna
What was the one that they made for Xbox One? It was like
lie. The very first one, Dead Rising 3.
yeah, I
Yeah.
thought that was it was a good game. It had some cool points, but like I got bored of it super quick. Like I think I played like 20 minutes of it, and I was like, all right, let's play something else.
I felt that way when I first started playing it.
Yeah.
I got more into it and I liked it, especially because you guys are probably not going to go back and play it now. At the end, I can't remember the protagonist's name from the second game. He shows up, and that girl that you're trying to help the whole time in Dead Rising 3 is
Yeah.
his daughter.
Oh, okay,
So-
okay.
Dead Rising 4, I heard pretty much killed the franchise.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I remember the first one on the Xbox 360. You remember Ty?
Yeah.
Yeah, every time I would go over to his house, like, his parents would only let me play it. Like, they wouldn't let his other friends play with him, which is weird, I thought. But yeah, I used to play that all the time over there.
You must have had.
You know what was
shit
another
friends.
zombie
Yeah.
game that was like extremely underrated that like not a lot of people remember this one. I believe it was called Chainsaw Lollipop.
Lollipop Chainsaw.
Yeah, that one was really good, and then this one is more on the comedic side. I can't remember the name.
Doesn't she have like her boyfriend's cut off head the whole game?
Yeah. There was you probably remember when I had the original Xbox.
Yeah.
And I had that one game where you were a zombie and you could like take your head off and like roll
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I forget the name
I
of that,
forget
but
that
that was
one.
Stubbs.
yes.
Yeah.
That was a great zombie game. I don't care who you are.
Yeah. No, those games are fantastic. So now pretty much moving away from video games because we pretty much covered everything we can there. Music-wise, it's been like 3 or 4 big album drops in the last couple weeks. Eminem,
That's the main one.
Yeah.
yes. Mac Miller.
Yeah.
So, like I told you, that first line in that fucking album
Got
killed
you,
me.
yeah.
Like I chills up and down my spine.
Right.
Hard to listen to. And then you said Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne, yeah.
Lil Wayne just dropped
A few days ago.
Yeah, funeral, and then
Is he
he
finally
also, huh?
Is he finally fucking dead?
Damn.
Jesus.
I don't like him. It's alright.
You don't like Lil Wayne? Is that what
I'll be
you're-
surprised. I'm surprised he came out with something so fast because the Carter was last year. The Carter 5.
Well, the thing with the Carter 5 is he had that album done for years. It was just shelved.
Prison.
And you couldn't. Well,
Not
prison
the
and
Cash
then
Money thing.
the Cash Money thing with Birdman. He had that whole album done for years, and then finally he got out of that contract and was able to release it.
Okay.
But I think Funeral is honestly, in my opinion, one of Lil Wayne's best albums. I haven't
Really?
felt this good about a Lil Wayne album probably since like Carter 3 or Carter 4.
Okay. I'll have to check it out because I've never been huge on it, but I'm always willing to give anything a chance.
Well, and I like this album too because like, you know, being a hip hop artist and a fan of hip hop, I always like to hear like artists shout out other artists. He shouts out Eminem like 2 or 3 times on the album. He shouts out I think he shouts out what is his name? He used to be on Young Money, Lil Twist, the song he's on with Lil Twist. He gives like a shout out to all the old Young Money kind of people, you know what I'm saying, which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
And then you said Halsey.
Halsey put out a new album.
I'm not crazy about her, but she has some good stuff. Like, I love the stuff she did with the Chainsmokers.
Yeah. I mean, I think she's a really good artist. I'll be honest, I didn't like check out her album. I heard her like first couple singles. I forget the name of the single that she just recently put out.
It's like Graveyard or something like that.
Maybe it's the one before that.
Before that.
Where sorry, something like.
I
The
think
music video, she's like dancing in a cowboy suit.
Okay.
I'll have
And
to-
she's basically like talking about like how her ex-boy or whoever she's talking about was a piece of shit and like so glad that she didn't have like kids with him kind of thing. But the singing's phenomenal. She's a great artist.
Yeah, she's a good artist.
absolutely. So obviously the one I was the most excited for was Eminem.
Eminem.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Anytime he drops an album, even if it's not his best album, my favorite part about it is sitting down and trying to analyze the people he goes after alone. Like,
His lyrical ability as far as punchlines, analogies, similes.
Still super sharp.
He's the sharpest tool in the shed. You know what I mean? I mean,
like, and he included stuff like, I've been waiting for something since the album came out where he just kills Nick Cannon, but at the same time, like, he even references stuff like that in the album where he talks about, he's like, I don't even see the point in wasting my time when someone can't even see to where the kick in the snake.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think what was it? Little Engine was the song is the only one that he really referenced that Nick Cannon beef, and he doesn't even mention it to a full extent. He just throws like a punchline and he's done with it.
He also had one other thing. Can't remember what song it's on. I want to say it's Godzilla. Or no, not Godzilla. I'd have to look at the track list. But he basically, like, the line is, some beefs I hit him with the kill shot, and some I only nicked him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, when you use the word nicked him, it kind of sounds like he's talking about Nick Cannon.
It guaranteed. But that's the thing with Eminem is he does those little magic touches that like are almost like detrimental. You know what I mean?
I just think that calling anything that he's done to Nick Cannon just like a nick, wrong. No, if you go back and listen to the warning, that was like murder on top of murder.
I would agree with you on that, but I will have to say the warning was directed towards Mariah. Nick was a part of that. Yeah, Nick got some good jabs from that song, but that was directed towards his wife.
Yeah.
The thing that I know this is going more into the beef side of things, but the thing with Nick Cannon is he tried too hard. First of all, he had 4 to 6 different rappers that no one has ever even fucking heard
You
of.
had Suge Knight on the phone call.
Yeah.
That shit's straight ridiculous. What are you gonna try to go back to the late 90s? But we already knew that Suge Knight doesn't like Eminem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's not adding anything.
Yeah, you're not doing anything special by that.
Yeah.
And then Nick Cannon's third diss, which was called
The invitation canceled.
yeah, where they sampled Eminem's racist.
That shit pissed
track.
me off. But even then, I'll let you finish it. Just-
Well, I think we're about to say the same thing. Even fucking then, Eminem apologized for that whole entire thing in Yellow Brick Road on Encore back in 2004.
Yeah.
But
You know what I mean?
even then, that was him more or less trying to get his frustrations out about one person.
Well, about one woman.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like some
Directed at the whole
fuck black people kind of thing. You know what I mean?
He was mad because it was right after him and Kim had split up at one point, like in like towards the end
It
of
was high school, yeah.
where he was like, he said the words "black girls are stupid," and then like another later part of the verse he said "black girls are dumb."
Yeah.
And Nick Cannon used that.
He just looped it.
Looped
He
it.
just
It
looped
was
it. It was
annoying.
his hook. Yeah.
If anybody listens to that out of context, especially listening not knowing the story about the fact that that girl screwed him over and everything,
Right.
you're gonna jump and think, oh, this dude's fucking racist.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially if you don't look at things like D12. He could have left all those guys behind.
Oh yeah.
He came back for his brothers
Yeah.
and got them all. Like,
Well, I mean, it doesn't make sense anyways for Eminem's history. He grew up in a
Predominantly black
black
area
neighborhood.
of
Yeah.
Detroit.
Yeah, like, so for him to even be a part of the hip hop culture and be a racist, that doesn't make sense.
I will say if there's anybody in the hip hop game right now who feels racist, whether they are or not,
Okay.
Tom McDonald.
Yeah.
Dude.
Like he's kind of like he's getting
edgy.
away with being.
I understand the idea of being edgy.
He's a.
He has hurt feelings.
Yes, what
And all he talks about is his race.
Camera died.
We ran out of memory on the memory card.
Sorry,
so
guys.
we'll jump right back in where we were. We kept note. Like I said, I feel like Tom McDonald is just kind of. I don't think racist is the right word, but he's very. All he ever seems to talk about is how white people are vilified anymore. And like, hearing one song about that, fine, I get it. Like,
But
it does
It's like every time.
Yeah.
the last 10 songs I've heard by him, except for the stuff he's done with Mad Child recently, is all about
race.
yes.
And then everything else he complains about just seems like super obvious and like I'm really like eye rolling.
Yeah, like he feels like he's trying to be controversial.
Yeah.
So
Well,
hard.
and that's what he's labeled as now. Is he's under a category of controversial, thoughtful, conscious rap. But not in the right
A
way.
good
I feel
way.
like conscious rap is more like
Kendrick.
Kendrick or even NF.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know what I
love
mean?
it.
Something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but this guy is like
Politically Incorrect was the last thing I heard by him that I enjoyed. After that,
You know, the reason why I like Tom McDonald is for the fact that he does push your buttons because that's what he wants to do.
Mhm.
So he's accomplishing something. You know what I mean? But I would agree the race stuff gets a little outdated and well not outdated. Excuse that word. He plays it out to an
Overplayed it.
extent where it's just too much. I think I don't know if you guys listened to the track or saw the video for his song "If I Was Black."
I did.
I did. I saw the album cover. I thought it was fake at first, and then I went to his Instagram. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, I
Like,
think that was probably the song where I was just like, come on, man, like change it up a little bit. You know what I mean? But then he does kind of surprise you with songs like I think it's called Cloned Rappers or something like that, and then he has
He has that one where he basically talks about like getting in a time machine and shit like that. I can't remember this fucking song, but I enjoyed that one.
yeah, when he talks about like real shit or like just different not so edgy topics, it's really good songs. You know what I
I
mean?
enjoyed his beef with fucking
Back Lethal.
yes.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't. I don't think it was on the level of like Eminem, the type of shit he pulls, but it was still.
I think that beef hurt Mac.
Oh, it did.
I hear him a lot, man.
Well,
Yeah.
you saw his final reply, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I enjoyed that because he wasn't trying to just keep going. He's just like, you know, I am who I am.
Yeah, and I respect Back Lethal, and I also respect Back Lethal because he's bringing on some of these newer YouTube rappers, like for instance Crypt, if you ever heard of him.
Speaking of that, like I don't know if you heard that Death to Mumble Rap song. That
Yeah.
song was trash.
It was trash, and it good promotion wise for Crypt and what's that other cat's name, Gone or
I don't
something
know
like
what the fuck
that.
his name is. A futuristic and Mac Lethal. Like these fucking like lyrical miracle whatever rappers, they're like worse than mumble rappers. I think
I think
like
it depends on the
they're
artist,
fucking
of course.
rapping fast. Like what are you really saying when you're rapping fast?
Right.
You're saying nothing.
Well,
Right.
if you don't have enunciation while you're doing stuff like this, there's no point.
Well, and especially
you
if
can
you're
slow
chopping
down. Yeah, you can go to Tech Nine, Yellow Wolf,
Yeah.
Eminem. You can hear the words they're saying.
And they're talking about something. These guys are just saying random shit, and
Well,
they
that-
think it just sounds cool.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I've played the role too of like, you know, fuck bubble rap, you guys are hurting the culture kind of thing. But it also like it comes down to just music in general. If that's the type of music that someone likes, or that's the type of music that they do because they like it themselves.
Yeah, and
Can I
Then
say
let it
something about
be.
mumble rap?
Sure.
So, because I live in St. Louis and I've lived around a lot of black people, alright? But one thing that I've come to notice, just living in certain areas and the fact that I've traveled the majority of this country, that's just how fucking people talk. And then they just do it in a rap track and all of a sudden it's just this shitty
yeah,
shit.
Sure, it might be
Yeah,
that's how
a
people
regional
fucking
or
talk.
Yeah,
country
that,
thing.
I get that, but then you have people like
Well, yeah.
who change the way they talk for music.
Well, then that's appropriation.
Atlanta rappers, I
Well,
understand.
well, that's appropriation. Same thing goes strong with country music. Alright, people fake accents all the time in country music.
Well, it's okay to have an accent. It's okay to have an accent, especially with hip hop. You want to change.
Yeah.
your
yeah,
style
and I
of
almost
flow,
feel
you know?
like mumble rap could be seen like,
But here's the
you know,
thing.
rock. There's different genres, subgenres within rock music. There's different subgenres within everything.
Well-
Mumble rap could be that.
Well,
too.
you guys
Yeah.
know that the pioneers of mumble rap don't even consider it mumble rap because they're just rapping. People just make fun of their accents.
Well,
yeah.
Look at the Migos. That's just how the fucking Migos talk.
Well, it goes back, and of course, it'll go back to Eminem, but on Kamikaze, on the first track, The Ringer, he pretty much says that, like, on that track, that Migos and shit is just a fucking knockoff of Lil Wayne and shit, you know what I mean? If mumble rap was a thing, then I would probably agree that it started with Wayne and some
I'd
of
agree
that
with that too.
era.
Yeah,
you
for
know what I
sure.
mean?
Yeah.
It's especially Southern rappers, because like
Yeah.
it feels like as soon as Outkast and T.I. got out of the game, that's what filled Southern rap.
Well,
Yeah.
and
It's
then
that trap.
if you look
It's
through
that
Southern
trap.
rap, there's different eras because it went from like T.I., then it went to like real down like Texas kind of rap to like Paul Wall, Jim Jones,
Yeah.
shit like
And
that.
recent-
You know,
or
And you got
recently-
Gucci Mane. To
Gucci.
me, he's a fucking legend.
he's
I don't care what anybody
he's
says.
a legend in his.
As far as trap music, you got
Yeah,
T.I. and Gucci Mane, the fucking front runners of that
The
genre.
OGs, yeah.
Yes.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Overall, everybody loves what they love, because I know there are still some people who can't stand Eminem, which doesn't make sense to me. A lot of people don't like the whole the fact that he is white and kind of that whole Elvis thing.
And to a degree, I can see why people don't like Eminem, because a lot of times, not a lot of times, but sometimes when he references shit, it's outdated.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Like 5-10 years.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on, man. And like, I think now on his albums, he focuses more on lyrics, which is cool, lyricism and stuff, but the song structures are shit for the most part.
Did you feel that way for his newest album? That the
It
song-
was better than Kamikaze, I think.
Okay.
Definitely better than Revival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing that surprised me or irritated me, I should say, was Young Ma on a track on Eminem's album.
See, I enjoyed it. And I will say with Young Ma, I've never been like a really huge fan, but for her type of lyricism, she kept up on that track.
Yeah.
For what she does,
I was
she kept
surprised.
kept up.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, because you go back and you listen to The Ringer, he's pretty much dissing her too. He even does the ooh.
Right.
So-
But the thing that a lot of people shouldn't forget, but they do forget, it's competition. I might diss Ransties, but who knows? Maybe in the future we'll do a song together. You know what I mean? That anything can happen. It's all
And
competition.
you can tell when it's a true diss.
Right.
Like the
when
Fallon
you
kind
have-
of thing. I'm
right.
gonna bring that up.
Or like when you have
That's what-
Yellow
yeah.
Wolf and
Royce.
going.
I'm gonna diss you on the track tomorrow.
That's fine.
I don't care.
I'm really not.
No, I will say the Yellow Wolf and Royce thing hurts my heart because I am such a huge fan of Yellow Wolf, and I am such a huge fan of Royce. I've been a fan of both of them since I've been a young man. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, to lyricism, competition, flow, Royce.
I gotta agree, dude. That the Book of Ryan, it's my shit.
Great album.
Love
Great
that
album. I will say, Royce's newest track with West Side Gun, where he calls out Yellow Wolf, I think it was a really like different kind of way to do it. But
I didn't enjoy West Side Gun on that track.
dude, Griselda, they're phenomenal, dude. Listen to that album.
Okay.
I heard a few.
I just-
And if you are a fan of old school
Like grindy.
90s grindy
Yeah.
hip hop, that's your album, dude.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're not even a fan of that kind of style of music, it's good music.
Mm-hmm.
And the cool thing about that record too is that they did that shit in 48 hours. Produced themselves, or not themselves, but they had producers in there doing that shit. They got it done. And the only features that they have is 50 Cent, and then I think there's somebody else. Oh, Raekwon.
Okay.
But phenomenal album. But the thing is, like Yellow Wolf, he's a lyrical monster too, but
When he wants to be.
And I think he's not ready for this kind of
And apparently I read earlier today that one of Royce's artists or something like that, somebody he works with, he went to go work with Yellow Wolf and DJ Clever. I guess him and Yellow Wolf were apparently saying the N-word with the hard R at the end, apparently, and then he told that artist didn't like that, and Yellow Wolf apparently told him that he just has to get used to it if he's gonna be around them. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's apparently why Royce did that.
I see, like,
right.
I think that's a really hard situation to be in. Because I think even if you're in a group where you get a pass, I still don't feel comfortable.
My personal opinion
So you can come
is
back
if
to
you're a
biting.
full-on white man, white woman, I don't think you should get the pass.
No,
I don't
Even
care.
if your friends are like, no, dude, you're good at saying it. I remember when I was I was playing football in Aurora. I was the only white kid. They tried to give me the pass. I said it wrong, got my ass kicked. I was like,
Right.
never ever doing this again, no matter the circumstance.
Yeah.
I was
and
like 10. So
I've never agreed with that, and like, I usually let it slide. Like, I won't name drop, but you know who I'm talking about. This cat, as white as can be, and he says the N-word every other word. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But for some reason, I don't know where I'm going with this. Some reason it gets passed on, and I don't think it should be passed on.
Yeah.
I think if you're going to say that word from a white person's perspective, it's usually derogatory. So don't say it.
There's history.
Don't get me wrong. Like, you grow up around people who say certain things a lot. Like, my cousins are Mexican, and for some reason they spew it out more than anybody.
Sure.
else.
Yeah.
But I don't feel comfortable going on the street and saying
No.
anything to that effect.
Right.
Do I have inside jokes with certain friends like Nate or the other Nate?
Sure.
Sure.
But
But I'm not gonna go around
Cracking
saying
Mexican jokes and shit.
yeah. It's wrong, especially in today's current climate with everything.
everything. Right.
It
Look at
just
smeared.
yeah. I've never understood how anybody's gotten away with that.
Right.
But
Right.
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah. So, closing this out, in case we run out of time again.
Yeah. Run out of memory one
Yeah.
more time.
So you guys know when we're done, we're gonna hop in my 4x4 and we're gonna play Smear the Deer.
I don't know what that is.
We're gonna catch a deer, we're gonna hit it in my car.
We gotta drive a little ways to find a deer, sir.
Yeah.
Only about 20 miles will go out east, we don't gotta go west.
Oh, about 100 miles around.
You've been hanging around Gunner too much,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah, so anyway, we're gonna close this out. We're gonna give Justus here a chance to let us know what he's working on and what he has planned for this year.
Yes. First and foremost, I have a new song out right now called Bleeding Out. Please go stream that on all the services you can. New EP dropping April 7th called Dead by April. We'll be releasing, and I hope everyone enjoys it.
Where can they find you, like on Twitter, like handles and stuff like that?
All my social medias are at Just Lucid. Feel free to contact me as well. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Cool. You got anything you want to plug real quick?
Yeah, I'm a French teacher, in case you guys didn't know. Alors bonjour mes amis. Alors si tu veux avoir une leçon avec moi, laisse-moi savoir. So if you guys want to take a French lesson, hit me up.
Oh,
You find my info below.
Yeah, so yeah, thank you guys as always for watching the SuperThwak podcast and supporting everything we've done so far. And yeah, we got way more coming soon.
Yes.
So be on the lookout.
This will take place of our news video and our podcast
Yes.
this week. Be sure to follow us once again, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and just keep posted. Oh, also, one last thing before we go. Tonight we got together. We pretty much decided where we're going with our show, The
Yeah.
Turnaround.
We're gonna work super hard on that tonight, first episode, and see where we can take it. We're really excited about it so far from what we have.
We will make sure we have it one day after you spent the whole Valentine's Day crying your little petty ass off in your bed.
Yes, we'll give you something to smile about.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you all again. Anthony Stevens.
Damian Leyba.
Next time we see you, you'll get half off chocolates.
Damian Leyba.